Hey guys, it's Emily. Welcome to Posy Lane. If you're brand new here at Posy Lane, we like to do fun, easy, doable crafts. New content comes out every week, so make sure to hit the subscribe button so you'll be the first to be notified when new videos are out. If you're returning, I'm so glad that you're back and that we get to craft together again. Today we're going to be crafting with contact paper from the Dollar Tree. We're going to be decorating the mug, and then I have some old coffee canisters that we're going to be decorating and repurposing to use for organization storage. I found a little wood frame at the Dollar Tree that we're going to be making into wall art, and the last thing that we're going to be doing is embellishing a two-tiered tray with this marble paper. Quick cover contact paper from the Dollar Tree. If you've ever actually seen it used, you've probably seen it lining like shelves or drawers. It's made for protecting surfaces, and I've used several different other adhesive papers from the Dollar Tree even in the last few weeks, including vinyl paper, which I've used to like make stickers, and I know people use it in Cricuts. And then there's also the peel and stick wallpaper, which I've used for different crafts and obviously can use for your wall. But this contact paper really sticks out because it's durable, it's wipeable, and it's washable. So it'd be great for using to decorate where it's wet and there's gonna be liquids. We have so many different crafts, so let's just jump right in. We're going to be decorating mugs, and the mugs that we're using are actually from Walmart. I love having just a good plain white mug as a blank canvas to decorate, and these are only 94 cents, and we're going to be decorating them with this really pretty floral. I love all these flowers, and I think it'll be so fun to cut them out and attach them to the mug. When I opened up the contact paper, there was actually more to the design than I had expected. I planned to do a rough cut, just cutting the flowers out, and then I'm going to go back in with my scissors and kind of do a more detailed fine cut of each of the flowers. I'm a very detailed person, and when I started to cut these out at first, I wanted to cut like right by every little line, and I realized that was going to take forever. And so really you just want to cut out the basic shape, and you don't have to cut too close to the actual flower when you're cutting. Ready to put the flowers on the mug, and I'm going to put the focal flowers on first and then fill in the empty spaces with the smaller flowers. If you don't like the placement of anything, the great thing with this contact paper is that it is removable, so you can just peel it off and then place it where you want it. Also make sure as you're putting it on to smooth it out so that there's no air bubbles. When I went to place this on the mug, it was actually a little bit too big, having this extra bloom on here, so I just cut off this one bloom so that it will fit onto the mug. If you're having trouble getting the backing off of the flower, just use one of the blades of a scissor and kind of score it, not going all the way through, and it will help you get the back off. Because this is washable and durable, you'll probably drink out of it just fine, but I'm actually planning to use this to help propagate some plants that I have. I have this pothos that I just want to make some little plants out of, and so I'm just going to stick water in here and place my plants in. I love this Starbucks instant coffee, and so I have several of these different coffee canisters, so I thought it would be great to put a bunch of different small things inside, but obviously I don't want to leave it where it looks like it has Starbucks on the outside and also on the lid. This marble paper would be great to put on the front of it and then make a label for the top so that we don't know that it's even from Starbucks, and it'll be great to put all my small things in. I already cut out the contact paper so that I can wrap it around the cylinder, figure out my measurements, and I figured out that I needed it to be about 9.5 by 3.25. What's great about contact paper when you're cutting it, on the back it has all these lines already for you, so it's easy to cut in a straight line. A couple tricks I found for putting contact paper on. I want to make sure that I line it up to the bottom because I do have a lid, so if there's a little bit of a gap here, that's fine, but I don't really want there to be a gap at the bottom. If you kind of hold the paper and just roll the container around the paper, it goes on a lot smoother. I wanted to cover the Starbucks font, and so I decided to create labels. For this one, I'm doing rubber bands. So what I did was a 26-point font, and I figured out that a mason jar was a little bit smaller than my lid. I just traced the mason jar around here, and I'm gonna cut it out to place on top. To To attach the label, I just got some clear contact paper and I traced the lid onto it. And now I'm going to cut it out and I'll be able to place this where you can see it on the top. Because I made the label a little bit smaller than the contact paper, the label is able to stick to this contact paper, and then I still have an edge that will stick to the lid. I had several of these instant coffee containers. I made one for rubber bands, paper clips, and sandwich ties. What's great is that they stack. We're going to be making wall art from this frame that I found from the Dollar Tree. We're going to actually be painting it black so that it matches the contact paper a little bit better. And I noticed that these focal flowers that we had used earlier fit perfectly in the center of the frame. The first thing we need to do is to prep it for painting. I just have a small Phillips head that I'm going to use to remove the bracket and these screws. Then I'm also going to take this glass out so that it's really easy to paint and I don't have to worry about getting paint on the glass. I'm going to be using chalk paint to paint the frame because I don't want to have to do more than one coat. And chalk paint's a little bit thicker, so it should do the trick. And I'm using Waverly chalk paint in ink. The sides of this wood frame are pretty rough, and so I'm glad I used a foam brush like this because it helps get into a different groove and grain of this wood. Contact paper isn't very sturdy, so I knew I wanted to put it on something that is sturdy to put it inside the frame. And the frame opening is 3.5 by 5, so I measured cardstock and cut it out so that I can stick the contact paper onto it. I did cut the contact paper a little bit bigger. I can kind of fold it over and make sure that there's smooth edges. And one thing I do love about this contact paper is I can kind of see through it. So when I am placing it, I can make sure that I'm centering the flower. Now that the frame's all dry, it's ready to put back together. I decided not to paint this metal tag because I kind of like the way the aged brass looked up against the black. And to add a little something extra, I cut out a piece of cardstock to act as a little tag inside. And I'm just gonna draw a couple little weed stalks on it so that it complements the picture. Nervous at first because this is a Dollar Tree item about taking the screws out, like if it would strip or not, and surprisingly these screws did not strip and they were able to come out easily, and I'm able to get them in easily too. I found this 2-tier tray at the Target dollar spot, and it looks like a mini cart with these little wheels on it. I thought it would be great to put in a bathroom for organization of your makeup and toiletries, and we're going to be decorating it with this marble paper. Whenever I'm lining a tray that has a base like this, I measure it out and cut out a piece of cardstock to act as a template, and I make sure that that fits first before I actually cut out what I'm going to be sticking to it. And so now that I know that this works, I'll trace my contact paper with it. I went to put the contact paper on and there were a ton of air bubbles. So I decided to start at the short end and place it down. And as I'm going, I'm just smoothing it out with my thumb, making sure that there aren't any air bubbles. I love the way these mugs turned out. They're gonna look so pretty on my windowsill while I let these plants propagate. If you don't have anything to propagate, you could also use these and put soil in them and use them for little small house plants. I've done that before too. And I can't wait to use my organizers. I have a cluttered drawer right now with all these different things in it. I can't wait to put it in its right place. This frame came out so pretty. You would not know that this is actually contact paper in here unless you told someone. And I love this tray too. I think it looks so much nicer, and you would not believe that this came from the Target dollar spot. Thank you guys so much for joining me today at Posy Lane. I had so much fun crafting with you. I can't wait for next week.